Hello friends, we have been discussing about the World Bank, a critical primer written by Eric Toussaint. The International Monetary Fund and the World Bank are special agencies of the United Nations, and they are bound by the Charter of the United Nations. It is true that the World Bank and IMF are operationally independent from the UN, but they should respect and implement the human rights and laws in general. It is a common duty. It should be the duty of the international financial institution to incorporate these in the implementation of these debt policies. Neither the World Bank nor the International Monetary Fund can ignore human rights under the pretext that their decisions should be guided only by economic consideration and they are protecting their constitutional rights. The principles adopted by the Bretton Woods institution in general have a direct negative impact on the lives and fundamental rights of all the people around the world in its operational impact. Eric Toussaint says it is a time to end the impunity of the World Bank. Can World Bank be sued or prosecuted in the court? It is generally believed that the World Bank as an institution and a legal entity has immunity against law, but Article 7 and Part 3 of the Charter mention that World Bank can be taken into court under certain conditions. For example, it can be sued in national courts of member countries and where it is represented, or the countries where it has issued its bonds. The possibility of action against the World Bank has not been modified since its establishment in 1944 for the simple reason that the World Bank collects its funds for loans from financial market. And World Bank bonds were originally purchased by North American private banks and big institutions. Now other companies and including pension funds and trade union funds are also buying the bonds of World Bank. The founding countries of the World Bank estimated that the bonds of the World Bank could not be sold unless the buyers were guaranteed the right to sue the bank for default. This is why the level of immunity given to IMF is different from that of World Bank. International Monetary Fund has the immunity against law as it finances its own loans using money contributed by its members in the form of proportional shares. It is not on humanitarian grounds that the World Bank was not given immunity, but simply because it had to provide necessary guarantee to lenders so the World Bank can be sued in the countries where it has offices. Why we had to sue the World Bank? Why it should be prosecuted? Because a large part of the loans provided by the World Bank are being used to implement the policies which harm the welfare of the millions of citizens. The World Bank has financed only massive white elephant projects such as building dams and investing for massive infrastructure, extracting raw materials and export-oriented agriculture policies that undermine the food security and food sovereignty of the people. And by destroying tropical forests, they implemented power plants, and the World Bank has often aided the authoritarian regimes that commit crimes against humanity. So it is necessary that the World Bank has to be prosecuted. The World Bank only supported the privatization of the national assets of the countries which get loans from the World Bank, but it benefits only a few of its members. So the World Bank helped the superpowers to impose their will on the majority of the population. Who can take legal action against the World Bank? Organizations representing the interests of the people badly affected by the World Bank loans can sue the World Bank in national courts for the damage it incurred. The holders of the World Bank bonds, bankers and trade unions also can sue the World Bank, saying that their funds has been misused to support dictatorships, authoritarian regimes. So there is no guarantee that such cases will succeed. But why should citizens movement not exercise their right to hold the World Bank accountable for its actions? It is inconceivable, he said, that the bad practices of such institutions should not one day be allowed to be punished by the rule of law. Why such actions against World Bank were not initiated? There is an obscurity in the Article 7, Section 8 of the World Bank, which gives legal immunity to the actions of the World Bank decision makers and officials. And it is obscured that it was the legal immunity given to bank. It is not given to bank, it is only given to the decision makers and officials. It is important that the bank should be held accountable for its action as an institution rather than holding it accountable to its executives. The same section of the World Bank Charter, that is Article 7, Section 8 also says that the legal immunity provided to the officer can be waived and legal action can be taken against them once they leave their office. So far, no action has been taken against the World Bank. Why? Because it takes a long time for the truth to come out, and also it takes a long time for the people to realize the World Bank's reprehensible actions. From the perspective of the citizen, they only think that only the national governments are often seen responsible or for these policies advocated by the World Bank. So the real role of the World Bank is overlooked. 1947 UN Convention, does it give full legal immunity to special agencies of the United Nations like World Bank? In the Annex 6 of the UN Charter, World Bank has been mentioned and the circumstances under which the World Bank can be sued. The World Bank can only be sued in a country within the jurisdiction of the World Bank member countries, and the World Bank can also be sued in the countries where the World Bank has sold its bonds, and therefore the World Bank can be sued under the terms of the 1947 United Nations Convention and its annexes. So we should no longer remain under the illusion that the World Bank can be reformed by means of negotiations. The World Bank is not going to eradicate poverty from the world, or is going to bring development in the third world countries. It is only implementing structural adjustment policies which only benefit the multinational corporation and private superpowers at the expense of majority of the poor people. Thank you so much for watching.